Hey Aquarius, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Blue Mountains Tarot. Gonna do another reading for you guys, my fellow Aquarians. Welcome to Blue Mountains Tarot. This is a general reading. Please always keep that in mind that not every reading is for everybody, so just take what resonates. I do offer personal readings. If you're interested in a personalized reading via Zoom, you can contact me below in the description box to set that up. And thank you so much everybody for all of your likes, your shares, your comments, contributions, donations, etc. I really do appreciate the support, so thank you for that. And let's see, what is the message for Aquarius? It does feel a little chaotic at times lately, a little bit. A lot of people kind of maybe in a bit of a cluster or a bit of a panic at times. They may come to you, Aquarius. They may be venting, needing somebody to reflect or bounce stuff off of. But the importance is to not get caught up in what feels like trauma, or not trauma, wrong word. What feels like difficulty, stress, all the things that are going on around the world. The thing is to not let that consume you, okay? And try to live in a place of your own inner center, your own peace. Not getting caught up in all the things that we think are actually real, because they're going to change sooner or later. Okay, it's very easy to lose track of your higher purpose, the things that you're meant to be doing, because you're consumed by what you think is happening in the world that may not even necessarily have to consume you, involve you, okay? Rise above, transmute that energy. So you may, where I'm getting at is that you may have to kind of lay low for a little bit if you just want to keep in your own centeredness, okay? Because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff going on right now that it could steer you off of your own inner tracks here, your own path. So you may feel the need to lay low, to follow with what you're doing in your life, on your higher self, on your higher path, versus dwelling and getting caught up in the lower things that are not going to stick around forever anyway, so why bother? Okay, let's get more into your reading. Aquarius, what's happening with you guys? There's that Knight of Pentacles, Four of Cups, okay? Again, similar energy that I was speaking of here. Pushing back, approaching things very slowly. If there's something that's just an offer that has no purpose to you, or a situation that doesn't serve you, it's just like, you know, protecting yourself here, okay? So it's approaching situations right now, or certain people, very cautiously, very slowly, protecting your earthly energy there with that Knight of Pentacles, okay? Your security, because this Four of Cups is kind of like energy coming in that's not doing anything for you. In fact, it's discouraging you, disappointing you, boring you. The Temperance, okay? Again, there's that things that are falling into place in life. Balance, healing, just going with the flow, letting it go. Coming in, letting it out. Something comes in, let it go, kind of thing. I want to clarify that. That's the major arcana there, Temperance. You got Sagittarius energy. Let's just see what that's all about. The Knight of Wands, okay? I feel like the Knight of Wands is sort of able to move on from a situation because you have a bit of a path or a goal in mind. You have a bit of that, your own mission. So although the Temperance does speak of patience and balance and all of that, I feel that some of you are, get up and go because you know where you want to be, you know what you want to be doing, you know what path or plan you have for yourself. Sometimes it's not, you don't, like, again, with that Four of Cups, Temperance, and the Knight of Wands, to me, that's kind of like, you don't need to necessarily compromise with the wrong type of person or the wrong situation. You don't need to compromise where you're going, what you're doing, what your ambitions are. because you need to accept offers or situations from people or things. So again, I feel like that's that Knight of Pentacles that's sort of saying, you know what, either proceed with caution, take your time, back it up, because you're kind of moving in a different direction or a quicker direction. Okay, so you're moving to the flow of your own pace. What might be fast to somebody might be slow to others. What might be slow to others might be fast. So there's a pace that I think you're pursuing here, Aquarius, in what it is that you need to do for yourself. Okay, again, it's a little bit of which we're very well known for, and you know, going to the beat of your own drum. Okay. Okay. I want to ask about relationships for you guys. Let's kind of switch it up today. Tell me about some connection, energy, love, relationships. What is this for Aquarius? Let's get into that. Let's see what that's about. Three of Wands, the Judgment, okay. Okay. The Nine of Cups, okay. This is a very solid direction of where you, again, it's part of that Knight of Wands. This could tie into that energy. And I feel like with the Three of Wands with the Judgment, you know what? It's like you're willing to have a certain level of compromise or waiting, but you know, the thing is, Aquarius, is that this is somebody who knows exactly who and what makes them happy. So you're moving in a direction, you're pursuing what you want, you're pursuing a situation or a person that you feel it's like a good judgment call. It's like, I'm making this decision. I'm choosing to pursue this person. I'm choosing to move ahead with it. I feel good. I feel happy. For the most part, this person makes you feel good. There could be a little bit of an exception where somebody does keep you waiting sometimes. Okay, so not everything or everyone is perfect, but one of the things here could be that for some of you, there's a little bit of like this person has kept you waiting a little bit before making things take place or happen. Or maybe that's a regular thing for them. They're late all the time. They're not very punctual. Okay, let's see what else. For the most part here, Aquarius, I think you're very certain about the situation or person you're dealing with. I think you're feeling very content and happy for the most part. This feels like the Queen of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Okay. Someone could struggle. That Five of Pentacles was kind of in reverse, but somebody could struggle here with their ambitions, their confidence. Okay, so what I pick up from this is like there are people who are they come across as confident and beautiful and like put together, but they struggle. And it's like, sometimes you wouldn't necessarily think that about somebody, but I feel like somebody here struggles with either their confidence, what they're doing, their ambition, or their purpose. Kind of like some people don't feel like what they're doing in their life is enough, doesn't necessarily measure up. Maybe they struggle financially a little bit and they don't feel like they're amounting to as much as what they want to, or as they perceive what they should be. I think it's important here to really fulfill and like pursue the goals, the dreams, the ambitions that you have, regardless of what that looks like in comparison to other people. And again, I'm going back to that Four of Cups, Knight of Wands energy. Like, I feel like what's good for one is not necessarily good for another. You know, you have to fulfill what makes you feel like you're on path, you're on purpose, you're in this place. I want to clarify a little bit though. I just want to see what's going on with that. Because it is somebody who would normally have a lot of passion, a lot of drive, a lot of dedication, confidence. But again, some people present that But inside, it's like you put them in a social setting and they're very, they get very apprehensive or nervous, or they feel, their confidence level is not what it necessarily appears like. So somebody here struggles with something like that. Tell me more about this. Clarify that. Queen of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. It's what they're doing for work, or how they're making a living, or how much money they're producing, like how much money they're earning. So there is somebody here who is, it's kind of like a little bit of an outcast feeling. Like it feels like, again, it's like somebody who, there is something here regarding work and what they're doing for their work, maybe they want to go back to school. I don't know. Eight of Pentacles can sometimes represent studies and learning, but I feel like somebody is struggling with their purpose, struggling with, what they're doing. And I think that's more of a self-judgment thing. They could be concerning with what others perceive or are thinking, which is unnecessary. What's the healing advice around that struggle? Five of Pentacles. Tell me what the healing advice is for this person. I feel like regardless, this person is either wants to be busier or they stay busy. There's no lack of work here, provided that they want it, type of thing. There's an ambition there. But it still feels like this person isn't necessarily enthused. What's the advice around that? What's the healing advice? The Nine of Swords. Okay, again, try not to lose your sleep and stress about this. It's sort of like it's an unnecessary anxiety, unnecessarily overthinking a situation. It's interesting because I see this Eight of Pentacles. It's like everybody else is just busy doing their own thing. Nobody's really paying attention necessarily. Okay, so we kind of, it could be a little bit of it's overthinking, self-judgment, self-evaluation, self-comparing, that kind of feeling is what I get. Not wanting to be left out, not wanting to feel less than, not wanting to feel smaller, but that's a false. It's like not identifying with your role or your job versus identifying with who you are as a person, who you are as a spirit. What do you bring in your energy to life, to people, not what you do for a living per se. So there could be a little bit of that stress in this connection. Anything else? The Knight of Swords. And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, what else? This is taking action towards an independent nature. Why the Nine of Pentacles? Page of Pentacles, okay. There is an energy here that somebody kind of does what they want. They kind of don't, again, there's that going back to that waiting around. Somebody just goes after what they want. They may not need a lot from people. So one of the things here with this connection, Aquarius, is that somebody could be very independent. They don't really require much or ask for much. It's like they ask for very little, it seems, with this Page of Pentacles. Maybe you have to sort of make an attempt to ask for or offer help, or, I feel like somebody doesn't really rely or like to rely on anybody. This is a very independent natured person, Nine of Pentacles. They're going to do what they want regardless. Maybe a bit of that beat to their own drum. This could be you. It may require a little bit of conversation about your intentions, what you're doing. Okay, so that kind of brings me back to this Three of Wands with the Judgment. So it's kind of keeping that person in the loop as to what you're doing or what they're doing. Roles can be reversed. Like somebody that doesn't tell you until after the fact. And it's like, it's not that you need to monitor each other, but you would just like to kind of be kept in the loop as to what they have as plans for life, for what they're doing. versus just doing things and not feeling included. That's where that Five of Pentacles is also coming in. Somebody that's like, wait up for me a little bit. Like, let's do something together. Like, not living separate lives or doing separate things when it feels like no one's being kept in the loop. So there's a little bit of that here. I feel like somebody here is a little more used to, maybe they're very used to being single, they're very used to their independence, they're used to just doing what they want. But some people are just like unattentive, or they don't think about saying, hey, whatever this plan is, doing something. It's making the person feel involved. So of course you can have your individuality, of course you do your own things in life, you work, interdependently, but I think it's about keeping this person involved in the thing. And that could be a part of somebody who's feeling a little bit insecure, or they're not adequate enough or good enough to be a part of. So they may feel a little bit like, why am I not involved? Why am I not a part of that conversation? Aren't we supposed to do things or join things or keep each other in the loop about what's happening in our day-to-day life or in our plans about life? 16 minutes. Okay, let's see. One more. Let's close up and see. The King of Wands. The Six of Swords. Okay. One more. There could be impatience here. Yeah, Five of Swords. What it feels like, either it's a level of impatience, or somebody who sort of does as they choose, leaves a situation without addressing what is going on. There's a bit of what's the word? What's the feeling here? It's like it's avoiding an issue at hand and then just sort of like slipping away or moving on, and it ends up becoming a conflict. It ends up causing an argument, or ends up causing somebody thinks they can get the easy way out, or just dismiss because they don't want to necessarily deal with the challenges that are in front of them or with this connection. So it's interesting because there is a lot of energy around somebody here who is like, I'm getting my needs met. I feel happy. I know the decisions I want. And so this works for me. I get what I want out of something. But I feel like there's somebody here who, there is a little bit of like a very independent nature. There is somebody here who, one person isn't necessarily feeling like bonded, or are we on the same page? Do we have the same, like, why are we not keeping each other in the loop? It's almost like somebody who says, they come home, you've made them dinner, and they're like, oh, I already went out for dinner. What? And no one, like, why weren't you guys eating dinner together? Why are you, like, that's just an example, but it's almost like, why didn't you tell me? Then I wouldn't have made all this food, or I wouldn't have done this because you went out and grabbed takeout or something. Like, it feels like somebody who does what they want without realizing that there could be a consequence or a repercussion or something because you didn't keep the person in the loop. So you're not informing each other. It's like a connection, like a disconnection in the communication. So there's something that we try to move into here, or let go of and put behind us, move into some, like, keep it easy, let's just hope for the best kind of thing, and then it ends up having some kind of argument or conflict. It could create some distrust or jealousy, because when somebody is not being kept they're wondering maybe, like, why are you holding that from them? Or are you with other people? Or, it could cause distrust or jealousy, definitely conflict. So you can't just kind of like move on thinking, well, I do what I do. There's a thing here about keeping this Queen and King of Wands could work really well together. It could be a very passionate situation, a very connected situation. But if two people have two different mindsets and they're not actually keeping the loop of communication open, it stresses out somebody, or it makes them feel like they're not a part of what's, because there's a lot of independence here. It's like doing what's good for you. You know, healthy compromising here with that temperance, negotiating, allowing for like the flow of give and take, allowing things to fall, you know, to be balanced. What's really, you don't really have a lot of major arcanas here, Aquarius. You've only got the temperance and the judgment. So a lot of this is kind of like maybe day-to-day insignificant things, but they could really add up to the judgment. They could really, all these little insignificant things could add up to like, I don't want, like it doesn't work or it works, okay? So I feel like it could be a make or break based on all of the little tiny things that maybe add up over time. You don't want to build resentments here. You don't want that conflictual resentment type of energy. Because of somebody who just lives like wanting the way they want things to happen for them without the consideration of or collaboration with their partner. So I think it's that. I think it's all the little day-to-day dealings that it's almost like you don't feel, someone may not feel like best friends, you know, or you just like call and touch base and let's do this. Like it's all the little things that day to day that are, there's missing links, and it's not feeling like it's able to kind of bond. It's making somebody maybe work hard to figure out, which is creating some of that anxiety, to figure out what place do they play in this connection. Why does somebody feel left out in the cold? Why is somebody feeling left out in the loop? And then they, it creates stress or anxiety around like what this is. So communication is very, very important, because one of the things you don't have in your reading here, Aquarius, you have the judgment. That's more of just like a decision, calling a shot out, but you don't have a lot of swords in the communication aspect of the reading. You have a lot of strainful swords. You have a lot of mental, stressful swords, and things left up in the air, except for this Knight of Swords, who's going to just be hasty or take action and do what he wants independently, he or she. The other thing I'm noticing here is that you don't have a lot of cups. You have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment for yourself, and you have the Four of Cups, which is that doesn't satisfy my needs or it doesn't work for me. So I don't want to say that somebody might be selfish here, but when you have more love, when you have more emotional consideration, when you have more feelings, it's expressed to that person. It's expressed to this person versus saying, that doesn't work for me, don't care, this works for me, I'm gonna do what's best for me, and I forgot to tell you, sorry. There's a lack of emotional communication and communication, verbal. It's kind of like somebody's trying to read your mind. Wow, we're going over here, 24. How does this person truly feel about Aquarius? How does this person truly feel about Aquarius? The Page of Cups. Okay, so they do like you. They do have love for you. They do have feelings for you, but it's a page. So it's not, there's the cup of expression, but it comes in, it could be immature emotionally, but it comes in like they say it You know, it's kind of like somebody who says, well, I told you I loved you, so why don't you believe that? Because they're not feeling it on a bigger or deeper level based on the other actions or the other forms of communication or how you share your emotions. So it's not, they could be telling you this, they could be saying, yeah, I love you, but why didn't you want to, why aren't we having dinner together? Why aren't we doing things? Why are we not, like, what's lacking in this connection here? So this person may verbalize that. I do think they have feelings, but it may need some time to really to grow. And maybe that's what you're kind of a little bit of the waiting aspect here. It's interesting because now that the reading's unfolded, some of you might be saying, you know what, I'm going to give this a certain amount of time to really make my judgment call. Because if the 9 of Cups, if I'm feeling fulfillment, wish fulfillment, if I'm getting all the things I desire and need out of a relationship emotionally, then I'll move forward with that. I'll know. But I think some of you actually are in a bit of a, I still have to make my final decision about this relationship that I'm in, because they're saying, or they show, or they tell me that, or they tell me, or they say that they love you, or they care for you, or they're thinking about you, but then their actions or their lack of communication is contradictory to what they're saying. So you're trying to, there is a bit of the waiting, but I think the 3 of Wands is like ready to move in a direction of like the big thing, the strong connection, the big opportunity that you can grow a life with a person or a partnership, whatever this is. There's a big judgment call kind of thing. So you're some of you are kind of proceeding a little bit or slowing down. You could be backing up a bit, because the 4 of Cups is saying, yeah, you're offering me something, but you're not paying attention that that's not what I am, or that's not what I want, or someone isn't necessarily fully paying attention, or they're focusing on themselves more than realizing that, you might have been single for a very long time and been very independent and self-serving and do all that you want. But when you partner with somebody, you have to consider the other person. Your consideration, your thought processes have to adapt and change, because now you've got somebody else. It's like having a child. You can't just continue to be a single person flying around doing your thing. You've got a child to care for. You have to change your consideration. So it feels a little bit like somebody hasn't quite adapted to the fact that there's another person in their life that requires consideration, communication, emotional connection, verbal connection, keeping each other in the loop. Okay, a lot of these things can be corrected, though. I feel like these are very small, or not small. They amount to big things, but they're everyday, run-of-the-mill type of energy, things that we're doing, activities, ideas, thoughts. Like, it's just not sharing your inner mind or your inner emotion with the other person. So it's not that temperance. It's like, it's not weaving in and out, it's causing a sense of possibly the impatience part of needing to be patient. Let's take a look at actually, I'm going to do the well-being card today, guys. We're running into I think this is one of my longer readings. Let's do this one, a little bit short and sweet. Aquarius. And I feel like some of you, you feel like you've made the right decision, or you feel like this is someone that you enjoy or that you want to. I feel like, you've waited, or you think this was the right person. But then as you get to know people, you realize, okay, something's not right here. Something needs work, okay? How wonderful I am. We are wanting to awaken within you your memory of how wonderful you are, how good you are, and how worthy of whatever you are wanting you are. These cards speak very differently. How good you are and how worthy of whatever you are wanting you are. So I think that's part of that energy where I was feeling that somebody here may not be feeling like that Queen of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. They don't feel maybe super wonderful. They're not feeling, and this is a reminder that you are a wonderful person. We all are part of that energy of seeing the best in yourself, seeing the wonderful energy that you give to others. It's not necessarily based on what you do or what your work is, or, you know, it's about who you are and wanting that. So it's like Spirit wants that for you, Aquarius. Spirit wants you, and there's all these stars. The stars, Aquarius energy. So Spirit is just reminding anybody who's not feeling very, you know, strong or confident or loving for themselves, that it wants you to know that you are worthy and wonderful for who you are. Okay, Aquarius, that is your reading. I hope it helps. Thank you again for your likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. I appreciate it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.